Well, what a sight this is. A beautiful evening and the promise of a match that will really get the juices flowing.
I'm Peter Drury, and it's a pleasure to be alongside Jim Begley.
Well, thank you very much, Mr. Drury, and hello to everyone.
Some terrific scenes here in Barcelona. My goodness me, it's made even better by 100,000 supporters in full voice. Things already rolling. Jim, which player is best equipped for this game?
Yeah, Virgil van Dijk. He's just about unbeatable in every department, Peter. He's strong, he's quick, he's totally dominant in the air, and what's more, he seems to really love a tussle. His passing's good too, and he never seems to lose it in important areas. I'd expect this team to notch up a lot of clean sheets with him on board.
I wonder whether that has anything to do with you being a defender once upon a time, Jim.
Well-timed, excellent interception. Can he get on the end of this? Where it came from.
Saviola. Mbappe!
Oh, he's given that plenty, but no.
Yeah, it's good movement though. A bit unlucky he couldn't actually steer it goalwards.
He steps in, and that's the end of that. Well, he's not happy with that challenge, but the referee has let it go.
It's a poor throw that, picked off with relative ease.
Nicely spread. Now it's Messi. Neither of these two want to come off second best.
Messi clearly held on to it far too long there. Did he do enough to find someone? He looked as if he had his mind set on trying to do everything his way.
Zanetti got a long way forward to join the attack.
Well, that's surely a foul. Free kick. Now it's Hazard.
He's a sharp little ball here. He's got away. Big chance! Couldn't squeeze it through. Tries to play it through. In towards the back stick. Barcelona with their first corner. The first in the game for either side, actually.
They've played it short.
Messi. Messi's cross.
Oh, that's a cracking ball. Too quick for defence and keeper.
And now a sudden chance to counter. No goals as yet. No, it's come to nothing. Well, the run has been sold a little bit short there.
They should have done a lot better there. The final ball was very poor.
Çalhanoğlu kept aware, and it is reclaimed easily. Guardiola has a look and plays it forward. And that pass just didn't quite work. Well, the idea was a good one. The execution of it, not quite so.
Well, that's down to a simple miscalculation. No more, no less. Manchester definitely like their pressing from the front.
Yeah, it's relentless at times, Jim, isn't it? High energy, high intensity.
Standard practice nowadays, Peter. Make sure you don't give your opponents any time to think on the ball.
No, not quite on the same wavelength. But it is clear to see that he is not at all happy with that.
His teammates are really annoyed with that, you know, and they have every right to be.
Alexander-Arnold. Messi. Messi going face-to-face with his great rival. And it's Reinders. Shevchenko. And he welcomes it in. Koller. There's the shot! It's loose, and there's a race for the ball. Zanetti goes back to front. Now it's Mbappe. Reinders. Distributed tidily. That's been cut out, well played. Hazard finding himself in space. Hangs in across. And anyone who's joined us late, I can confirm that in terms of goals, at least you've missed nothing. Now, can they get him away? And he's cut it out. João Neves. And it's Reinders. Bobs him off it and wins back the ball. It's a really well-measured ball. Reinders. Stood up well to him there. Edmilson. Koller. Zanetti promptly onto that, and that is that. That is ended up in no man's land. Now that looks a decent ball. Koller. That's very neat. Alexander-Arnold is in a really good position out wide.
They'll want to make the most of this turnover.
No luck with that dink over the top. And it's a temporary halt to the action. It hasn't been a bad watch, not by any means. The intensity levels are there. We've just lacked that telling breakthrough moment. So neither side has found a way through yet.
After all that probing and testing the waters, here's hoping for a more open second half.
Well, it's been a half that hasn't lacked suspense or intrigue. It's only lacked goals. 0-0 at the break. And here is the first touch of the second half.
Barcelona have been the team that have had the lion's share of possession and chances. OK, they haven't got much to show for it, but I think it's a case of keep going and eventually you'll get your break.
And he's been shifted off it. Well, it didn't look good for a while, but that was brave defending and they got away with it. Well, oh, that is rather wayward.
Manchester really are good at what they're doing. They'll gladly take any opportunity to launch that counter.
Reinders looking for the run. And he's managed to get free. In by Messi. Ah, that's a fine interception. Played out to the left flank. Alexander-Arnold looking to play him in. Here's Tchouaméni.
I wouldn't fancy playing up front in these circumstances, to be honest. There's absolutely no supply.
Aimed beyond the defence. Well, he has slightly undercooked that one.
Well, I think the opposition saw that pass coming a mile off, and it wasn't the best decision.
Hazard. And the shot! The keeper's ball, and now they can spring out of defence. Best part of an hour and still no breakthrough from either side. Well, that pass isn't the best. Hazard is onto it in a flash.
Whatever happens, that's the kind of movement which raises hope.
Vardiol. A deeply frustrating game so far. Certainly in terms of the scoreline, it remains 0-0. Searching pass he's played there. Alexander-Arnold cuts it out. Reinders. Now it's Hazard. Pass somewhat off target. Alexander-Arnold. Çalhanoğlu. Tchouaméni. Shevchenko. Shot a goal! Well taken goal.
And a trademark move ends with the inevitable classy finish.
Manchester are such an adept counter-attacking team. They produced something out of nothing there. A few seconds was all it took for them to convert a defensive situation into a goal, and it's very impressive.
So the first goal of the game.
Listen, when it comes to goals, Peter, in this team, he's always the #1 contender, and he's done it again.
Well read, nice interception. Shevchenko has given away a free kick.
Cambio de jugadores.
So the manager can make a change for the first time in the game here. Reinders. Your impression so far, Jim?
We've not seen much from this team as a whole, Peter. OK, that's largely due to the way their opponents have approached it, but they can up their game considerably, and I mean considerably.
Brilliantly cut out. And Alexander-Arnold.
Well, it's definitely the right attitude and application, Peter. They've got to keep pushing.
There is an irresistible, irrepressible look about them here.
Well, the question now is whether they can sustain it.
There's the header! Decent attempt, but not quite good enough.
Yamal. The pressing's intense, and it's paid off. And it's Çalhanoğlu.
Mbappe!
Barcelona really might just end up kicking themselves after that. That could well have been it.
He's shifting through the gears here. And that's a good intervention.
Oh, shooting chance! Now, who's going to be first to this?
Alexander-Arnold plays it in. Well cut out, no margin for error there at all. Looking for options for movement. Now it's Reinders. Messi.
Savage chance, surely! And that's a good finish. Barcelona are back in business.
And that was as close to certain as can be.
Yeah, it's mystifying that a player of his talent wasn't picked up sooner, and he picked them off instead.
Cambio de jugadores en el Barcelona. El dorsal 87.
Barcelona have turned to their bench and we're going to have a substitution. So they have it all to do again.
Well, at this stage, Peter, it's going to come down to how badly they want to win this.
He's having a hit!
Oh, he's been caught on it here. Cross goes in there.
Gets his head on it!
And the keeper has reacted superbly there.
Mbappe clearly thought he had the beating of the keeper.
The message is simple: defend this with your lives.
I think we might be done here, Peter. I don't see there being enough time for them to try again.
The ball has bounced loose now. Yamal's cross.
Getting up there! Firm header, just off target.
That's a great attempt, although he clearly feels he should have done better with it.
en el Barcelona. El
So
dorsal
we have further
19
activity on the bench
será
here.
sustituido
Yamal
por
getting the
el
call here
dorsal
in what can be interpreted as a clear show of intent.
Yeah, I think it's time for some brave decision-making.
Alexander-Arnold ventures forward, knocks it into space, goes long and straight. Dani Olmo, he is through here. Rijkaard. Into stoppage time, very little left on it. And here's Yamal. And that interception. And there goes the final whistle. Well, nothing to separate the sides in the end, not for the want of desire, drive or determination. No complaints.
How do you look back on the game then, Jim?
Listen, the more this game went on, a draw was always likely to be on the card. So overall,